Does God exist? Is God the intelligent creator that started it all? Or is this wondrous beauty an act of randomness? Regardless of our particular belief, do we have confidence in that belief? Co-authors Dr. Tom McFaul and Dr. Al Brunstine offered new insights into these compelling questions. Together, they provide a unique approach to the relationship between science, evolution, and belief in God.
It has been some time now since my colleague, physicist Dr. Al Brunstine, and I have had a keen interest in a particular topic. And this topic is the impact of modern science on human religiosity, and especially belief in God.
So Tom, you've written this book. I love the title of this book, God is Here to Stay. It sort of shows your hand, doesn't it?
Yeah,
how you and Al Brunstine, your co-author, feel about this. I happen to agree. But beautiful title, and I'm just intrigued by the subtitle, Science, Evolution, and Belief in God. So I'm intrigued as to what would make a physicist and an ethicist collaborate on this topic. What got you to wanting to
Well, we are
a
partnership that's very unique with this kind of topic. It's very rare that you have a physicist and a humanist working together. Usually it's a physicist by himself or herself, or a humanist. But we have a mutual interest in this topic and decided that we wanted to write a book because our interest in science and religion has been there for quite a while as we've developed our friendship. And as we've looked at the landscape on this topic, we've seen that there are largely two positions, an atheist position and what is called a young earth position, which is focused and based upon the Genesis account of creation. The evolutionary science position is based upon the idea that the universe was created 13.7 billion years ago, as opposed to the Genesis account, which anchors creation into 10,000-year time frame. And in between, there is really nothing at all. And we decided to try to fill that space because we believe that there's an impasse that's developed between the atheists on the one hand, who argue for a randomness perspective, and the young earth theologians who argue for a 10,000-year creation perspective.
So you're pretty much offering a third.
We're offering a third perspective. We also anchor that into the idea that science has evolved through three stages. The first stage is pre-scientific, and this is where different cultures of the world and different religions of the world developed their views of creation. With the emergence of science, which we call stage two, then scientists, many of them, began to predict the demise of religion, which just simply hasn't happened. But as we've entered into stage three, we believe that increasingly the recent discoveries of science are mutually supportive between religion and belief in God.
So from reading the book, it seemed to me that in a nutshell, what you and Al are saying is that religious faith and the advances in science are not, as is commonly believed, they're not mutually incompatible. In fact, they reinforce each other. Did I have that right?
You have that correct.
Good.
That is correct. That's the essence of the book.
Okay, and that to me is a bold statement. And as a college professor, I mean, you've taught college for many years. What would be the kind of the traction with young people and their struggle with faith and science?
That's a very good question. I encounter in my classes a number of students who come out of very conservative religious backgrounds, and when they begin to encounter a modern scientific view of the universe, it confuses them. They're not sure what to do with that. They're not sure whether they should reject the modern scientific view and hold on to their religious beliefs, or reject their religious beliefs and hold on to a modern scientific view of the universe. And our perspective is that they are not mutually incompatible.
So you're really trying to counter this either or.
Yes, that is
either
correct.
or choices.
And we go ahead, please. And we believe the either or choices are at an impasse. We believe there's an alternative.
Okay, so I thought one of the really strong points in the book was this whole distinction that you're making between certainty and confidence. It shows up a lot. And I like that. And I wondered if you could speak to the choice of that word and that concept rather than certainty.
Be glad to. We believe that the universe is theologically ambiguous. And by that we mean that one cannot use, or we can't use, scientific information to either prove or disprove the existence of God. So what we're doing is taking a look at hardcore scientific discoveries, the best scientific information available, and ask whether or not it increases or decreases our confidence, number one, in a randomness theory of the universe, or that the universe was created by an intelligent creator who basically guided its evolution toward conscious, self-aware life on Earth.
I noticed that you had a confidence scale, which I liked in the book. I like graphs and pictures in books. So that was a cool graph. But it looked like about a 2/3 certainty. Would that be about right?
It's actually 80%.
Okay, well,
we are 20%,
math is not my forte.
We are 20% confident in the randomness theory, but 80% confident in the intelligent creator idea of how the universe came into existence and evolved. So we're not, that's why I say we're not trying to prove or disprove, we're trying to increase or decrease confidence. And if people have different confidence levels, our response is just really simply, that's not a problem for us. Just show us your evidence on which you based your conclusion.
So you're going for precision.
That's right.
A degree of precision. I remember in the 8th grade I was in the spelling bee, and one of the words was ambiguous, and I spelled it correctly. And another of the words was ambivalent, which I also spelled correctly. But it seems to me that the two are connected. If something's ambiguous, then we could feel ambivalent. But you're not making that point, though. You're making a different point. The third way between religion and science is not ambivalence, right, for you. It's confidence.
Our focus is on confidence because we believe the universe is theologically ambiguous. And by that, we just simply mean it's not possible to use scientific information to prove or disprove the existence of God. But it is possible to look at scientific information and increase or decrease your confidence that God exists without being absolutely 100% certain beyond a shadow of a doubt that you've made the case based upon exclusively scientific information.
Right. Otherwise, we wouldn't need the Bible to say we walk by faith and not by sight. And St. Paul wouldn't have to say, now we see in glass but darkly.
That's right. That's right.
So this idea that there can be a degree of confidence that we can attain, not certainty. I noticed that you all broke it into what I took to be sort of confidence components as you looked at different areas of human inquiry, and maybe 7 of them, as I counted.
Actually, 6 of them.
6, okay.
Right. Knowledge component. We have a component on consciousness and self-aware life on Earth. We also have from life, out of non-life elements comes life, spirituality in the brain, the universal quest for justice and for morality. And each one of those has a scientific component to it. And we look at the evidence in each of those areas. We establish a confidence level which differs in each area. Then we combine the percentages of confidence in all 6 areas and take an average. And that's how we arrive at our 80% confidence level. Right. That God is here to stay. Our belief in God is here to stay.
Okay.
Which is the way we prefer to say it.
Right.
As opposed to God is here to stay, because we don't believe you can prove that, but we can say with a high degree of confidence that our belief in God is here to stay.
So maybe pick one of those 6 components that's particularly compelling to you as an ethicist, and just say a word about that.
Well, as a humanist, I'm very much attracted to the idea of our quest for justice and a universal morality. But I think, and this is Al's contribution, is that his focus on the evolution of conscious self-aware life on Earth and how that can be dated all the way back to the beginning of creation, which is 13.7 billion years ago, strikes me as an incredible contribution to be able to trace life on Earth to predecessor activities and events and processes that started so long ago, but that nonetheless culminates in our ability to sit here and to talk about these issues because we have conscious self-awareness as persons, and our interaction with each other is based upon the knowledge that we possess, and we can share that in a personal way.
What impact? Would you sum up the impact that you would hope that the book would have?
We hope that the major impact of the book will be that there's no incompatibility between religious belief and modern science, and that once the word gets out and becomes more widespread and individuals can begin to see that possibility, then the debate and the polarization that currently exists between atheists and if you will, young earth theologians will be overcome with a third alternative whereby we can combine empirical science with religious faith.